What's up guys, Vibe Gaming here, and before we get into the video of the complete edition of ranking Call of Duty games from 3 professors slash experts, I do have to say here that we just appreciate you guys very much for supporting us here on this channel, and that's just about it.
All right, boys.
First game here.
First game, we got Call of Duty World War II. This is a polarized one. I'm not gonna lie. Some people love this game, and some people really don't like this game. Yeah, no. I know where I put it. Here, I'm just gonna put it. So I'm gonna put it where I want, and then we can talk about it.
Okay, I'm gonna clip it.
So, all right. I'm gonna put it there. Now, if you want to look, Cat Dog, I put it in good. I think
I agree.
I think. Well, here's the thing. I personally, in my personal enjoyment of the game, I would put it in excellent. However, I know that it had some pretty big issues on launch. Yeah. It was not exactly full of content, right? And the zombies kind of sucked. I understand putting it in good, but I don't think it should go any lower than this. I think the Prestigious was cool. I think that, dude, first of all, whatever, it wasn't a mode. It was like that, do you know what I'm talking about? That, like, place where you just walked around.
Yeah,
like
right.
That was in between
lobbies.
That was cool as shit. I can't believe they stopped doing that,
They did a good job with that.
It was like kind of like an MMO type thing. It was kind of cool. You could like do emotes and like show off that you're like a prestige. And you like go up in that top area. Yeah. Oh, the 1v1 arena? That was so cool.
Well, no, you could target practice. They had that firing range. And you could test your setups on your guns to see if like too much kick. Oh, let me change the grip or something.
Look, dude.
I thought it was good, but I thought that too many people hated on it.
Yeah.
Well, not enough. Yeah. It just died really quick, but it was good.
Exactly.
War mode.
Yeah, true. The new war game mode. I think for me, dude, all my friends stopped playing it, so that's why I stopped.
That is why I stopped as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was fun.
Is it my turn to speak? I'm not a huge fan of this game. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. It's okay. It's the game itself. Its engine it runs on. You know, like what we all played on. It's good. I think the multiplayer and some of the maps kind of went back to its roots of just being a really small action map. Alright, so this is where the video got cut off because we had a little interruption with something, and then all of a sudden we clicked back into Modern Warfare because I didn't realize it stopped recording. But here's what I wanted to make the argument to why Call of Duty World War II was a worse game. The zombies was not very good. The maps were decent. They didn't have a great color palette, but they were not anything spectacular. The gunplay was nothing crazy. I think the sniping was pretty good. Nothing besides the war mode in multiplayer was really a big seller for me. And the zombies, like I said, a complete doo-doo fart, like tied for probably the worst zombies ever. And the campaign was just way too short and kind of not realistic. I mean, the first mission was really inspiring, but everything after that, I mean, you're fighting on a car chase with a train, and the train blows up, and you're back into a fist fight, whatever. So it's a little over the top for me, and that's why I had to argue that it was just slightly below good or excellent.
Or mounting kills, it's just a lot of unneeded time that I don't want to do when I want to progress at like a decent pace.
So the reason I put it in excellent, and this I'm gonna die on this hill that it is at least an excellent tier. Okay, I think the engine that they decided to put this game on, right, is the best engine I think we've ever had for COD. Seriously, I think even the Cold War engine is slightly worse, and it's not like saying it's worse is not fair. It's just not as good. You know what I'm saying?
It was a very smooth game,
and I think the gunplay was very smooth, very satisfying. There was some bullshit, right? But I think what's not fair is in all of these games, there's that gun that is just annoying and is so good. You know what I mean? And I did not put in an excellent because of Warzone. I didn't even count Warzone as a part. That's like a completely different game, right? But I think the campaign was amazing, dude. I loved that campaign so hard because it was like a movie, like you were watching a movie, but you had like playable parts, and it was a little short, I will say. So I think that for me, that's the only thing keeping it out of bussin' tier. You know what I mean? I think of the recent games that have came out, that is the best. That is the best one we've had, for real. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I guess overall that was the one that kind of like got them out of that slump, because there was like a 2 to 3 game slump that they were in, and then this one brought it just above you know that.
We thought COD was gonna die, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that too. I'm like, dude, if Modern Warfare isn't good, COD will die, dude. Like, people are just not gonna buy it anymore. Modern Warfare kept it afloat just enough. And then Warzone came out, and now they're set for life. You know?
Yeah. So, no, Warzone.
It's their new cash.
I will have to say that the engine is definitely like the most innovative engine that they had, because like going from Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare, like there's a reason why they're still using the Warzone engine.
Yeah.
On the new Pacific map for Vanguard.
Was it Vanguard's on?
So
Vanguard's on the Modern Warfare engine, yeah. The whole game. One. There's a reason for that. It's so good.
Yeah.
They did a very good job with it.
So, all right, next game.
Oh god.
We got an OG COD 4. I'm gonna put it where I'd put it. Okay. And I'm doing OG COD 4, not remastered. Because remastered's different. So OG COD 4, and people aren't gonna like to hear this, but it's the epitome of average. It's pretty good. It's okay. I didn't get to play it a lot in its prime, like for multiplayer.
That's the thing.
That's another thing. I would put it in average because, like, if you go back and play it, it's like pretty good. It's not amazing. I think people are blinded by nostalgia with some of these older games, and I think especially COD 4. I love COD 4, and it was amazing. I just don't think. I think average is perfect for it. Okay. That tier on the tier list was made for COD 4.
I think Call of Duty 4, I think you're overlooking the campaign. I think the campaign in COD 4 is actually like really good. I would probably put it in good tier because yes, I think the nostalgia fact that it's the fact that as a multiplayer game, it was really good for being one of the first. And it like as a massively multiplayer like arena shooter, it was amazing. It's like that. It's like Halo and Call of Duty 4 were like neck and neck for like nostalgia multiplayer like experiences, and I think the campaign was amazing. It births this like kind of arc that they had with some of the story, and I think we overlooked some of the missions that happened in that game. But other than that, I do think the multiplayer is very average, and I think the maps are really good. The map, like again, that's just like. That might be a nostalgia thing, it might not be, but I think the maps of COD 4 were like excellently designed for the most part.
True.
So they actually put the time into it.
But yeah, I would probably put it in good tier, but I understand why you think that if it's just based off the multiplayer, it'd be.
Yeah, I think because I never played the multiplayer in it at the time, just too young for it. But the campaign, that was one that I replayed, which seems to be a trend with like the first 3 Modern Warfares. I just loved playing the campaign because they were just so well done and just so interactive. Like all gillied up, one of the most iconic missions in any campaign in COD. Yeah. I'd probably put it in good.
Okay, so and I will say, when I played Modern Warfare Remastered, it is my second most played COD ever. And when it originally came out, it was literally a duplicate of the COD 4 multiplayer. They didn't change literally anything. The M16 was still broken. Bog was still a dog shit map that you could just like watch people spawn. And I had so much fun playing it, like actually. So, I will retract my statement that it should be an average, and we'll put it in good. Because I think the problem is I put World War II in good, and that game is at least as good as World War II. So, all right, next game. One, Mr. Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Now, this is my first COD I ever owned myself and played from start to finish, like in the calendar year of COD. So I would put it. Oh God, this is gonna be tough.
A tough one.
This is a tough one because it's gonna influence where I put other ones later. This one goes in excellent, dude. I can't say that it's any less than Modern Warfare, to be honest. I think it is one of the most complete games we've ever gotten as COD fans. Like the campaign was amazing, the multiplayer was so fun, played the shit out of it, and then dude, zombies, bunch of OG maps that are unbelievably replayable. I think Black Ops at least deserves to be an excellent.
Okay, so I think you're wrong. I think
he's gonna be Skip Bayless here.
I think Black Ops 1 needs to be in Busted 2.
Oh,
I think you're forgetting about all the features in the game that were
party games. Yeah,
there were party games that were first invented. Mm-hmm. There was 2 zombies maps and the arcade mode, so technically 3 zombie maps at base launch that were free for everyone.
True.
Which is all this cut content bullshit that happens later. Nuketown Birth happened on this game.
Firing range.
The COD point system, which you could love or hate. But that's what made gambling and party games super fun and enjoyable. I think the campaign for this game is probably my favorite written. I don't think it's like my mission by mission. I don't think it's my favorite game, but I think from the standpoint of like a story and some of the characters in it, I think this is
coherence. And,
it was just amazing, and they're still using characters today that they used in this game.
True.
And these zombies actually refined engine, made it playable for everyone and not just the sweats, because the engine, you would have your Juggernaut sometimes just not work in World at War. This is the game that refined it and made a bunch of amazing maps off of it. We have Kino, obviously. I think Kino may be Cold War may have taken a cake on that, but Kino was like my favorite base map game of zombies for the longest of times. I think Shadows of Evil was really good too, but Black Ops 1 had Kino, and then it had those other maps like Moon. Oh, I loved Moon. But overall, I think you're overshadowing how amazing the zombies was in this game. I think probably the worst part, in my opinion, is probably the multiplayer engine. I think the multiplayer engine was...
It was pretty janky, I'm not gonna lie. Choppy.
It was kind of donkey,
in that
but it
game.
did have the
rip
across the map tomahawk invention.
Yeah.
And I felt like this game was busting.
Fair enough. Like, you know what?
Yep,
I am retracting my excellent. It's going to busting. You're right. You're absolutely correct. Well, because like another thing you have to remember is like we have to compare it to everything on the tier list, right? It's definitely better than Modern Warfare. I can't in good faith say that Modern Warfare is better than or even equal to Black Ops 1. Okay. So here we have the next game, possibly the worst game ever incepted by Activision. So here's what I'm going to do. You see this Dogwater tier is going to go under the never played, and we're going to put an Infinite Warfare there, and I don't think we even have to explain ourselves. It's just terrible.
Explanation.
So let's just, how about that, dude? Let's turn it around to one of the best cons ever incepted by Activision, okay? We got Modern Warfare 2, baby. This is the shmoney. This is the shmoney. And I think it would be a legitimate crime. It'd be a crime against humanity to put it anywhere other than Bustin' Tier. Seriously. Well, how can I argue? Seriously. I mean, like, the campaign, it might be my favorite campaign of all time. It was excellently written. Some of the characters from that are still being used. Captain Price is in every COD ever now.
Since COD 2. Like,
yeah, literally.
Number 2, though,
he's
you know,
just
they
in
never
all
played.
Captain Soap McTavish. The twists and turns of the campaign. The Spec Ops. I don't know if you guys ever played it. I played the shit out of that with my younger brother. So fun. All the missions are so fun. And then, dude, look, the multiplayer, bro. Might be one of the most played multiplayers of any COD ever, bro. Seriously, that was peak gaming, dude. That was peak.
Yeah, that was
multiplayer gaming on COD.
That was prime COD 2.
Xbox
Black Ops
live lobbies. 2. Yeah, man.
That was where men were created.
You're on Rust.
I cannot disagree with anything you just said. I think
it's hard. You just can't.
Modern Warfare 2 is always going to be in my heart as like one of the best multiplayer Modern Warfare or Call of Duties ever. I think its story was amazing. I think the story was better than Modern Warfare 3's personally, but I think the game as a whole was so rambunctiously amazing. I think the maps we're kind of underrating how amazing the maps were in this game, because we go to Modern Warfare, for example. I could not play 2 games in a row in Modern Warfare without leaving the lobby because the maps were so bad you couldn't repeat a map. But in Modern Warfare 2, if I could go favela for 6 games in a row, I don't really care. That game, like the maps were just so good, and there wasn't just one OP gun, because this game is where every gun was OP. The only like gripe I had about this game was the amount of, OPness that I had, or that the game had, like noob tubing, which actually was unavoidable. Like actually every game, there was
danger close, one-man army.
You always heard the poof at the beginning of every game of Afghan. But other than that,
almost every map.
The birth of quick scoping, basically. I mean, like it happened in Black Ops 1 too, but it was not the same.
Yeah, you couldn't do it in Black Ops 1.
But yeah, other than that, I think the game was I think it's a busted tier.
I think the beauty of Modern Warfare 2 is that literally everything is overpowered. Every gun, every like strategy you could, like, the noob tubes, the sniping, everything was OP. And I think that was the beauty. Like, you could even knife, dude. Commando Pro, getting knifed from across the map. Like, dude, I think that's what made it so fun, is that you could literally do anything and everything was viable.
Yep.
There was never just that one thing that was so much better. That just made everything else
besides
unusable.
noob tubing with the one-man army. That's
I
probably
think
that's
noob
about the
tubing was
only
like
thing.
an edge
but-
above
Yeah.
everything else. But
That's true.
Yeah, but
Okay.
everything about it was good. I
Yeah.
don't really have much to say to this one because I'm on the boat with you guys.
Yeah.
I just didn't play the multiplayer to the extent you guys did.
Oh, I love that game. Oh, it's so good. All right. So here is my personal most played COD of all time. Black Ops 3. I have 10 days on both the multiplayer and the zombies. I think it's absolute perfection. I would put this game in busted tier. And here's why. I think just like Black Ops 1, like Connie said, there was so much content on release, dude. Like if you think about they had the regular campaign. Okay, so you could play the regular campaign. They had the zombies campaign, so it was just campaign but slightly different because it had zombies in it. They had 2 zombies maps at launch, Shadows of Evil and then Dead Ops Arcade. The multiplayer was so good, dude. And I think they refined the exosuits from Advanced Warfare to make them slightly less annoying, you know? It wasn't so much like craziness flying around the map. It was a little more like mellow.
It wasn't so choppy as Advanced Warfare. It's very clunky in Advanced Warfare, but Black Ops 3 is so smooth.
Yeah, and like the wall running and just everything.
Yeah.
Dude. I thought that game was decently balanced, you know? There was like I said, in every game there's always guns that are just busted for no reason. The Brecci for the longest time in that game was
The Man of War.
terrible. Oh, yeah, the Man of War, you put high caliber and rapid fire on that thing.
Yep.
GG.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I would put it in busted tier. And then let's not even forget Zombies Chronicles. We literally got a 5th DLC with that game. So you got
That is
4
true.
full DLCs and then Zombies Chronicles. So I think that's
Man,
fine.
I can't disagree with a lot. I think, probably for me, the biggest gripe I had with the multiplayer was, again, like the map quality started going down. I think the maps in this game are pretty tolerable because
true.
of the mobility. You could kind of just go wherever, so the map wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
Or the map problem. Other than that, I didn't think it was. I thought it was really good. I personally really like the running, and you do different obstacles. Do you know the free run?
The free run mode.
Yeah,
Free
dude,
run.
yeah.
It was
That
free
free
run.
run
Forgot about
mode.
Free one
Yeah.
was
On
really
launch.
good. I enjoyed it. I personally didn't like the zombies as much, but I understand why you would. And the Chronicles addition to it was really nice because then you could actually play the older maps. So I think if you were to put it, I would be okay with putting it in Bussin'. I think it'd be the lowest tier in Bussin', which is where you have it right now.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, true. Like, I think the problem is, like I said, we put Modern Warfare in Excellent. It is definitely in almost every way better than Modern Warfare, in my opinion. Just slightly, though. Like, you know, it's just slightly better in every way. It's like a more refined Modern Warfare. Like, if Modern Warfare could have been a little bit more like Black Ops 3 with the content it had on day one, I think that game would have been damn near perfect.
Yeah.
I think the Black Ops 3's zombies, like the base maps, like Shadows of Evil, like that map alone, I played the living crap out of.
There's
like
a lot of
the
content.
Easter egg was like so complex, and it took so long to do. It just like in the multiplayer, I probably had like 12 days played on just the multiplayer.
Yeah, I love that game. That game is a special place in my heart forever. Here we go, baby. Modern Warfare 3. I think this dude, look, I might get some flame for this, and I'm probably gonna get overridden in where I'm about to put this game. Okay?
Probably.
But I'm gonna put this game on the same level as World War II. I think it was good. The campaign is kind of mid, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's okay. I'm playing through it, and I literally just kind of don't want to. It's kind of like okay. The story's kind of a clusterfuck, and it just piggybacks off Modern Warfare 2 so hard in terms of story. Like, just everything is a result of Modern Warfare 2. Like, nothing new really happens, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I didn't thoroughly enjoy this game as much as I did some other, games on the top of the list.
You should be.
What do you think, Skip?
I think you put that game in Excellent, and here's why.
Okay, tell me why.
I think you're 100% correct in the campaign. I think the campaign in Modern Warfare 3 was the most meh out of the Modern Warfare series. Even the newest one, I think it was way better than Modern Warfare 3's. I don't think it was as good as Modern Warfare 2's, but anyways. I think the problem that you're having is that you're kind of forgetting how much more they added to the multiplayer. They added the specialist kill streaks that you could have with perks to get nukes. You had the support for the shitters who were really bad at the game but could still call in kill streaks. And then you had the assault class. All three of these, now mind you, some of them had similar kill streaks. Like you had the Osprey gunner versus the Osprey support drop, which had support streaks versus assault streaks. But
the support jug and the assault jug.
Exactly. But I'm saying this because this game allowed people to expand on this creativity that Modern Warfare 2 had, where you could use whatever you want. This is the same thing with kill streaks. I mean, you could do whatever you wanted. We used to run a game of headquarters. We would all run support Juggernaut, just riot shields on the point. Like, you could do it. The camo system was relatively the same, if I remember correctly. And
it was just gun levels.
Yeah,
you just had to go off of gun levels, so you had to get your gun to like 750 kills or something like that, and you got a gold.
And I think the maps were slightly better than World War II's. There's a couple of maps obviously that were kind of stinkers, but besides that,
Bakara.
Yeah, there's a couple bad ones.
Did you hear that?
And then the Spec Ops too, the survival mode. I still yearn for it sometimes. Like, I actually I like playing it. Like,
well, that is why I re-downloaded it. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. I don't know. I feel like I think you're underrating the multiplayer and the Spec Ops. Other than that, I completely.
Yeah, I think the campaign is a very nostalgia thing for me. That's why I thought it was good. But I think overall, the multiplayer experience just puts it in excellent. Like, just multiplayer and then survival. Like, even everything else aside, you could just put that in excellent alone, just based on two things.
You know what? Fine, fair enough. Goes in excellent.
I would also mark it slightly below Modern Warfare. So.
Well, yeah, it's like it's not quite like here, right? Also, so are we saying Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty of all time so far?
Personally, I think Black Ops 1, but we can always rearrange at the end.
Okay, true. Okay,
we can refine it.
Yep. Next game. All right, so we have another polarizing one.
It's a very polarizing.
And
one.
everyone knows where I'm about to put this fucking game. Okay. And
I don't know where you're gonna put it.
I know. No. Okay. And here's the thing. I would. God, I would put it in dog water. But what's not fair is that Infinite Warfare doesn't have its own tier, so it has to go on average. And I literally do not want to move it up any higher. I did not like that game. I didn't think the campaign was very fun. It was kind of whatever. I never got none of the. I couldn't tell you a single character from that other than Kevin Spacey was in it. I don't even know his name in the campaign. It was so boring from start to finish. There are no memorable characters. There's no memorable moments. I just think I personally didn't like the multiplayer, and I will eat the bullet saying that the multiplayer could have been good, and I just didn't like it, and that's fine. But the zombies was fucking cheeks, bro. This might be the runner-up for worst, right behind World War II, and it is so close. It is so close to being worse than World War II. So I would never move this out of average.
So I'm sure Tyler has a lot to say on this, but personally for me,
supply drops, pay to win, Obsidian Speed.
Okay, yes. Let's first talk about how it's a it was pay to win for about 9 months of its life cycle, because of all the variants that were just slightly better than the base game guns for some reason.
So stupid, man.
I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I don't know why they thought, oh geez, the community's not going to care about this at all.
Yeah.
Just getting killed by the same 3 variants of the guns that you're trying to use. Other than that, I think the multiplayer or the campaign's actually decent. I would probably put it similar with World War II's. I think it's probably slightly better than World War II's, but other than Kevin Spacey, I don't think the actual campaign's very good. I don't remember the characters. I do remember the first 3 missions, like very distinctly, because I remember the start was actually pretty interesting.
It was okay. It did start on a good foot. Like, I remember the house mission. You remember that? Like, you're like training at the house, and then your friend dies in the first mission or something. I remember that. The cat. By the way, one of the worst memes ever to be incepted. Press F to pay respects. Fuck, man. Could you imagine if that just never existed? How much like less AIDS on the internet there'd be? Well, so look, I'm just saying.
As the multiplayer fan, I would say that this is slightly trying too hard to be jumpy and quirky and unique. I think for someone of my age, it was like perfect. But like, if they were to re-release the game today, you wouldn't catch me playing that game.
No way.
It's like playing Fortnite if you just play PUBG for 200 hours. It's like, you can't.
Fortnite.
It's so hard. And I understand some people really enjoyed it. And I think watching the esports, like I remember watching a lot of esports of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It was always so fun to watch because it was like a lot of jittery stuff that you've never seen before. But other than watching it, I didn't think it was that fun and casual to play. And I I barely played the zombies because it was very bad.
It's so bad.
The only thing I have that made World War II worse is that they actually just completely gutted like everything about zombies. At least in this game, they had like, I don't know, they are very neck and neck for being the worst zombies modes. I would still say that Advanced Warfare is worse probably. All right, Tyler, tell us why we're wrong.
Yeah, tell me straight, buddy, and why you're wrong.
Personally, I think I had on the multiplayer alone like 15 days played on this. So I thought that the multiplayer was really fun because this was also the game where I actually started to become not dog shit at multiplayer. I thought that the progression system for camos was really fun. I liked the movement. I thought it was a lot of fun. I was able to outmaneuver people and everything. I know that the supply drops were a big issue, which it was for a while, and then they tried implementing stuff to like try and make it more fair. Like every 5 or 10 levels, you get a rare supply drop. The campaign was subpar, and then the zombies, without question, was not very good. You can keep it at average. I think I'm just a little too biased on the multiplayer to where we can move it up to good, but I really enjoyed the multiplayer a lot.
I will say, if this was my tier list, that game would be right next to Infinite Warfare, almost exactly. It'd be equally literally equally dog water at the bottom. But I will respect that people did like the change of pace with the flying around, monkey, autistic flying.
That's because that's when people were like, boots on ground is boring.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. Exactly. Like COD fans are like, oh, dude, every game's the same. We get the same game every year, and then they change it, and everyone's like,
and then like, ah, shit, go back.
Yeah, dude, go back. Yeah. So and that's why it is definitely better than an Infinite Warfare, but yeah, still not great. All right, next game. This one is gonna be. I actually don't know how you guys feel about this one because I don't really know how I feel about it. I would put World at War at good. But my asterisk next to it is it's the best good in the tier. So it is slightly better. It is definitely better than World War II. And here's why. I think the engine it ran on is definitely dated. It's really kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think that's fair to like totally judge it on that. The campaign was outstanding. I have so many vivid memories of the campaign.
You remember a lot from it.
Yeah, and then it had the first ever zombies. That shit, it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Dude, you finish the campaign, you load into this dark ass map, nothing but moaning outside, and you start getting attacked by zombies. That was cool.
You see the door with hell on it.
Yeah, you're like, you scared shitless. You just like quick close the game because you're scared. And it's a classic, dude. I mean, I just think the multiplayer, dude, like POV, you're trying to knife someone in multiplayer. Okay, good luck, have fun. Okay, you're just not gonna. Okay, but. I don't know. It's good. It's good. That's all I have to say.
I disagree. I think.
And how is that?
Skip. Be excellent. Okay, and here's why. And I think you like to point out certain issues with the multiplayer in the engine, and we get it. It came out a while ago, so it's definitely not smooth. But we take that out of it. Let's talk about the guns real quick. The guns were almost completely, I don't want to say balanced, but I'd say all of them were very good.
Yeah.
I don't think they were OP. I felt like they were all decent. Like all the snipers, like the Arisaka, whatever the hell it was called. It was the Japanese one.
And then they had the anti-material, the
TRS
TRS or whatever.
Yeah, the PTRS. They had the Kar 98K. The first time the Kar 98K was in multiplayer. And we're also forgetting about the fact that this zombies game mode, this quirky zombies game mode, wasn't even on the box. It wasn't even advertised like at all at launch.
Yeah, no,
it came out of nowhere, and the only reason you could see it is if you went to mission select in your campaign, and you saw it was blurred out at the bottom, like it was grayed out, so you couldn't click on it, but you
had to
could
finish campaign
see
first.
Yeah. And the campaign, phenomenal. Like as you said,
first co-op campaign, I will say, first co-op campaign ever. That was kind of cool.
We're kind of like, and then the multiplayer, the maps were very large, but we also gotta remember they added the original war game mode, which was the momentum capture the flag game mode, which I thought was amazing. They had, you may love or hate it, but shitters like myself back in the day would actually enjoy it so much is driving the tanks on some of the tank maps.
Oh god, no!
And just getting like
You were not a
major kill
tank
streaks
gamer,
with those.
Nathan. You were not a tank
And
gamer.
you got the satchel charges and bazookas to shoot at them. This game was like, I think it was. I definitely don't think it was bussin' tier. I would personally put it in like last spot in bussin' tier, but I understand why you wouldn't. But I definitely think this is an excellent game. You forget about some of the maps like Dome and Macon. Okay, everyone loves Macon. And there's not a lot of other ones that like they were just really large. I'd say like CeeLo. CeeLo's really large.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I felt like the game was not only felt really complete, but like the story mode was amazing of the two different perspectives, and the zombies. I mean, obviously this is the startup of zombies, and I can't mark them as this was an amazing game because they invented zombies. But I definitely would say it's good. It's good enough because they added zombies to let forth to other content.
I know Nathan is gonna have a very long, lengthy explanation for this one, and he's gonna put it in bussin'.
I need to gather my thoughts real quick.
I'm a little indifferent.
I need to gather my thoughts real fast because I don't know how to feel about this game. Because the campaign was awesome. The multiplayer was amazing, really good. Played the shit out of it. I got to Mass Prestige. I think it's the only Mass Prestige game I've ever got to. Even on Black Ops 3, I didn't get there. And classic zombies maps. The only bad map was Die Rise, dude. Seriously. All right. After talking to myself, conversing, I'm gonna put it in the top excellent tier, just out of bussin' though. Just out of bussin'. It's not quite on the same level as some of those other games, but it's definitely better than everything else in excellent.
I remember what was the first zombies map in Black Ops 2?
Black Ops.
Oh, Transit, dude.
Oh yeah, Transit. And then they
it's
had
definitely
like
a bussin'
City.
game.
Yeah.
It's definitely bussin'. Okay. You just listen out. First time in Call of Duty history that they have a choose your own campaign where you make choices. And this is by far the most I recommend you sometime to ever research on how your decisions mattered in that campaign. It is more in depth than like the Skyrim like storyline. It is actually insane. The amount of minute detail that they added in the campaign. Menendez, you got these amazing characters. Obviously, Mason comes back, whatever. Let's go into the multiplayer. The multiplayer had the diamond camos for the first time, which we haven't seen. We had, the problem, like, obviously, this is where it started to become, some guns were just really OP compared to, like, an MSOE or whatever the hell it was called. You had the M8A1, the 4-round burst gun, the
N94.
Yeah, A94.
N94.
So, some of these guns were definitely way better. But other than that, the maps were mostly bussin', like S tier. And then you had the zombies mode, which, like, by the way, you only name one bad map, like.
I think the zombies carried the entire game.
Transit,
you have so much content at launch
fine.
with three. Okay, two of them are kind of stinky, but like Transit and the lava one. Yeah,
the city.
It's town.
Yeah. Oh, town. Those are the two off the start good ones.
You just have so much content there. The Transit replayability is just immaculate, and the story for campaign is okay, in my opinion. But I think the decision making definitely puts over the top, as well as the multiplayer being so good.
So bottom bussin', or
I think it's bottom bussin'.
All right. So it's not quite as good as Black Ops 3, but
I can't say it's better just because Black Ops 3 content at launch was a little bit better, and if you were just a free player, I think Black Ops 3 is better. But other than that, I think Black Ops 2 is way up there. So.
All right. How about now? This one is interesting. Because, so for me, Cold War, if the game never changed from when I played at launch, when I played the shit out of zombies, I think this game would be sitting promptly in this tier. Because it was just, the multiplayer for me, literally on launch, was unplayable. It was so bad. The graphics were bad, the animations were bad, everything was bad, okay? It was terrible on launch. But I will say, we went back and started playing it again. It is the most fun COD I've played in a long time. So on launch, this shit's going in dog water. But currently, as the game stands, a year after it has been released, I'm going to put it slightly edging out Modern Warfare as, the best excellent game. I think it's... I
can't even include zombies.
I can't put it in bussin', but the zombies, it was really good. I played the Shadow Zombies. When we came back, we started playing multiplayer. It's slightly more balanced. I had more fun. I think what Modern Warfare could have learned from this, or I guess they can't because it came out before, but Cold War kind of just like, they swallowed its pride and just started remaking maps because they knew they couldn't make new ones. So it's like now we get to play on Raid on the brand new engine with all these cool new guns. We get to play, Zoo. Zoo's fun as shit. Dine In.
Drive-In was probably my favorite map on the entire game to play. It was just the most fun overall.
I think if we're doing it just as the game stands right now, it goes in excellent. But if you want to average it and put in good, I would understand.
If you're talking about at launch, Cold War, like you said, I would probably put it right above Infinite Warfare.
I'd say
it would be above. It would be above in the
average.
Dogwater tier, but it's really bad, dude.
On launch, it would be average because of the zombies. It just carried it to average. And I thought that the campaign was good too, and like having the two different endings and like you chose your path. That was cool.
Okay, I think Cold War should be slightly below Modern Warfare in the excellent tier because
I can see that.
I think the at launch, although both games were kind of ugly at launch, I still think Cold War's Zombies mode, the map, I think has overtaken Kino as like my favorite base map in the game.
Dude.
Like Zombies map.
Really good.
Like the replayability, how big it was, there's not a lot of bullshit with it really. And it just added content, didn't really take away a lot. And then also, we're kind of forgetting on the free maps that we got later on, that a free-to-play player, after buying the game, obviously,
it's true,
is just going to enjoy more content. Like, they're just going to get more content. However, I also think that the maps are really bad at launch.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, dude.
I'm
It's
sick
unplayable.
and tired. I quit because I was sick and tired of playing Nuketown all the time.
Moscow.
Because it was the only map that was good.
Playing Moscow for the 10th time.
Yeah, and
playing Miami, God forbid, except everyone skip that. Thank God. You play it once, you never play it again.
And I'm sorry to say this, Tyler. I think the campaign is so average. It's so mediocre. The illusion of choice in that game, besides the last choice, it's kind of devastating when you look back at like Black Ops 2 choices. How this game, like 7 years earlier, was able to do it. Not 7, but like 5. Cold War, you got those puzzles. Really cool idea. Except for what's the payoff? Did I do the puzzles right? Did I do the missions right? Well, you just have a narrator of either side, voice over what you fucked up and what you didn't. Oh, you got 3 out of 6 agents or something. Okay, well, that didn't really do anything in the story. It doesn't say, oh, we got them, we got the rest of them, or something. It's just like, we'll get them next time. And besides the last mission, again, there are a ton of choices you could do, and it minorly changed the game, but it really didn't mean anything. And I personally, after playing it one time, I hate Adler, and I can't ever play with him ever again. So I can't play the campaign again.
I did not like him at all.
And he was just a cocky asshole, and I don't remember any of the other characters. One was British, as a British chick. I remember him. I remember the black dude too. I remember both of those dudes.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, I can see his face.
Like Davis or something. I don't really know, but
yeah, not great.
Other than that, the zombies were really good. The multiplayer was very bad at launch. I think it's
made a comeback
now, but it's a little too late. So I have to put it below Modern Warfare.
Okay, fair enough. You know what? Yeah, I would put it. I'd put it there. I think you're right. I think, dude, if it just had a good launch, dude, this game would be really good.
If it would have been really good in the game, and I don't want to sound like that guy, but I am that guy, and I'm tired.
It did ruin the game.
Sick and tired of playing with TTV gamers on shitty maps for 3 weeks in a row. So,
all right.
Why everyone stopped playing it?
All right, boys. This is another.
That's a polarizing game.
I don't think it's really that polarizing. It's just because I have a very different opinion than literally everyone else in our friend group. I'm the only one that holds the opinion that this game is not very good.
Where are you gonna put it?
I don't know. I'm thinking, because when I think of, it's definitely better than Advanced Warfare. There's no way I could put it under Advanced Warfare. But I don't think I could sneak in a good, dude. I think it has to sit in average and just know its place. It was okay. Extinction mode was fun as shit, and I played it. I played every I bought all the DLCs like by Extinction. It was super fun. The campaign was, it was slightly better than meh. Yeah. It was like, I thought it was cool. The idea was cool. Like, for the first time ever, The U.S. isn't just a big scary like stomp on everybody. Like they lose, bro. They straight up in the first mission, the U.S. loses, bro, and they're officially not the #1 superpower in the world. I think that was cool, but dude, the time to kill in the multiplayer literally made me want to gouge my eyes out.
It was fast.
Gouge my eyes out, dude. Literally, you get shot with Honey Badger twice. GG. You're near a respawn screen now.
Yep.
But I think other than that, I didn't think the maps were very good. They were all the color ranged from brown to gray brown.
And hey, there was some green on the jungle map. Okay.
Okay, fine. That one jungle map that wasn't very good had green on it. You're right, Tyler. But yeah, I think it is definitely above Advanced Warfare. I don't think you could put it above COD 4 though. I think COD 4 is still better.
Is it my turn to speak?
No, Tyler, go.
Damn.
No.
Okay.
No, Tyler, go.
So Call of Duty goes.
No, what? Tyler, go.
I'm going first.
No, you're not going.
No, Tyler,
no, you can't do this.
I'm going.
You can't do this. Okay.
I'm going.
We're talking about the campaign first, because the campaign, I think you shit on it a little too much. I think it was good. I don't think it was. Wait, where we got it at? We got it at first and average.
First and average.
I think it was just slightly more gripping than World War II's. I don't think it was as good as the characters from COD 4.
Whoever the main boss was, like the villain in that, did not die in Ghost. That was like a huge thing. Like he should have died 4 times.
And the dog mission. Okay, I remember those very
the dog
distinctly.
Mission was good.
Okay, now out of the way, campaign we're agreeing is relatively average, maybe slightly above average, whatever. Yeah. Okay, the extinction mode, something new. Okay, it reminded me a little bit of not Last of Us. What was it called? It was that
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. It reminded me of Left 4 Dead a lot because you had to do an objective, you had to survive waves, and then you went to another objective. Now it was a little repeatable. However, what's arguing to say that every zombies is a little repeatable? Okay, I think they had a good idea. I just don't think it was relatively measured right because they made it almost the same every time, like almost exactly the same every time, and you can get bored of that pretty quickly. Now let's go into the multiplayer. I think with my blinders off, I think that the multiplayer is actually kind of dookie. However, I think the maps colored, they look like ass.
It's boring, dude. It's just boring to look at.
Let's talk about something else. Dynamic maps. The first time dynamic maps were added in the game.
It was a very good part of it.
Okay, let's talk about Strike Zone again. Strike Zone.
Strike Zone was cool.
A bussin' map with the care package out of the game. Only you could do it through. Let's do sliding kill. You get your 2 sliding kills. You get a care package. You get this nuke. It changes the map completely. That's really cool.
Strike,
I think
the Strike.
There's some other things like you had to blow some things open. It would like shoot down logs. You had this dynamic feature, which is really cool for the time. However, I also think the maps as a whole were very much ass, and I think the gameplay was, it was very fast time to kill. I think it might have been the fastest of any COD game, but it promoted a lot of camping, which is I'm not a fan of. Other than that, I also felt like the DLC, like you could have Snoop Dogg as an announcer pack. I think that
was kind of cool.
Their
DLC were really. I think they were top notch.
I would probably put it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's got to stay in a top tier average.
It's either
below.
It's either bottom good or top average.
I can't sneak it in good. There's no
just
way.
keep it an average.
I think
blinders off. It's average. Here. Blinders on. It's bottom good.
I don't know where to put.
We don't count those. We don't count those. Those
the
are
one time Black Ops 4 missed, and I will say. The zombies were terribly mid, and I would even probably say that I would rather play Advanced Warfare zombies than Black Ops 4 zombies. There was no campaign at all, none.
That pissed me off.
We got a shitty fucking battle royale instead that looked like ass, okay? And the engine was terrible for multiplayer. It was terrible. I'm gonna say it was slightly better than Infinite Warfare, but it goes in dog water. Absolutely. I did not like that game.
They copped out because they wanted to make Blackout like the new thing.
So they wanted so bad.
The campaign was non-existent, which really ticked me off. And then they had that really shitty specialist meet the specialist campaign where you went through that mini thing. And I did it, and it was the most boring, like just not good. Like it was such a cop out.
Yeah.
I thought that the zombies was like the idea was cool, like the change in it with like the Greek gods, like the temples or whatever on 9. I thought that was cool, but that was the only thing that people liked about was 9.
Yeah.
And like that's when I think they got really too cryptic with the Easter eggs.
It was really. I do remember doing that one. That was really hard. Again, not having a campaign like it literally just cuts 1/3 of your game out, and you're still charge the same amount. The multiplayer, I actually think the multiplayer engine was pretty good, but I do think that the maps were not very good either. I think that the guns were so mediocre and so forgettable. Like, at least in Black Ops 3, like I do remember some guns, like Man of War is like my number one. Like I remember that gun, very much so. And
I remember the Paladin. It was a sniper. That's the only one I can even recall from that game.
But
Black Ops 4 multiplayer, I actually got, since it was basically the only game I played, and I still had fun with the multiplayer, but I still would say overall it's not a very good game. But I got Prestige Master and Dark Matter in that game. I just absolutely pub stomped because
God bless you. Fuck
all
that
the
game.
good,
God
all
bless
the
you.
good, all the good people left that within the first month, and it made it
True.
playable.
Ah,
And that was
fair enough.
actually, this is the 2 straight Treyarch COD games where they realized they were so shitty at making maps that they decided, let's just bring back COD, Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 maps and then call it good and ship it, and I was perfectly okay with that.
By the way, I'm pretty sure there were like 6 maps that came out at launch for multiplayer on that game. Seriously, correct me if I'm wrong. There were like 6,
It
and
was
that
a
was
very
it.
minuscule amount. It's
It
kind of
was
like
terrible,
the new Battlefield now.
Yeah.
wasn't it
That's
like
another
the
thing.
5-player teams?
Yeah,
and
they
even cut someone out with the stims on everyone has a stim. I thought that was a terrible change.
The specialist
so annoying.
system in Black Ops 4 was really bad compared to Black Ops 3.
Black Ops 3 was hectic and fun. Like it had fun abilities that were it actually changed the game. I thought Black Ops 4 just had a terrible specialist system. The maps were bad. There were not enough maps.
Saw
No
the
campaign.
success of Black Ops 3 and they're like, all right, let's take it.
All right.
And then
ship it.
Battle Royales sadly ruined Black Ops 4 because they only wanted to do Blackout. So I would say it's bottom average. I wouldn't put in dog water just because Infinite Warfare belongs there on its own in hell.
All right, gentlemen, it's that time of the tier list. Now we got to rearrange it if we want to at all. So let's start with dog water. I don't think we're disagreeing with that. However, I do want to point out to all the Infinite Warfare half-chubbers out there, Infinite Warfare's campaign was actually decent. And it was actually really like I remember playing and I was like, I mean, it's okay. I thought the gameplay was actually really good. I didn't think the story was very good, but the campaign like gameplay was like it changed you up a lot, so I thought it was really fun. Other than that though, I think Merc Music said it the best. Like, how can you take the game seriously if the developers don't take it seriously? So
just barely above Infinite Warfare because it's just Infinite Warfare. Like Tyler said, deserves to have its own tier, but I think personally, Black Ops 4 it's right next to it in purgatory in dog water.
All right. What about average?
I don't think you could put Ghosts under Advanced Warfare. I don't think that's fair. I think Ghosts was slightly better than Advanced Warfare. Like I said, just for the campaign alone, I think it was better than Advanced
Warfare. I think the Extinction mode puts it over Advanced Warfare.
By the way, on release, there was no zombies. It came in the first DLC. I don't know if you remember that.
I did not remember
Advanced Warfare didn't even have zombies on release.
Oh, that's right. It came in the first deal. Yeah, I remember that.
And it wasn't free. You had to buy the zombies map.
It was like $15 though.
Do you want to switch COD 4 and World War II? I would respect changing it for.
I think it's at a good spot. I
don't think
any of us played.
I mean,
played a multiplayer in its prime, so I can't tell you.
Multiplayer on PC because that's the only game my dad and I played together on COD.
So switch it, yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna switch
I think the campaign just.
I didn't play COD 4 originally, but I did play Remastered, like I said, and I loved it to fucking bits. So I could only imagine that I would have loved it back in the day. You know what I mean?
And so I think World War II at launch was not. I don't like. The zombies mode was so meh, and
they were on the decline
was
with
short and not sweet, and the multiplayer was average. I think the war mode was literally the only thing that kind of made the game in quickscoping. But besides that, the game itself was it was nothing crazy good or bad. I don't remember a single map name, but I do remember what they look like. All right, we got a lot of excellent here.
Excellent.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, boys, for excellent. I think we move World at War. I think we move
it there.
I thought we were going to move it up here because I think Nathan made a really good point at it being damn near bussin', but not quite. I think
Cold War goes down
below Modern Warfare or Warfare.
I think because we
agree.
weren't like you two did not play it literally until month 10 of the game cycle, and so I think we should move it to top good, just because the launch was so incredibly dog shit with multiplayer.
Look, I'll jump.
The zombies can only carry you so much.
I mean, we can make the same argument for Modern Warfare, like the most recent one. I think the multiplayer launch was like dog. I think the launch
we actually played Modern Warfare for the first 6
months. I will say the Modern Warfare campaign was slightly edging out Cold War's because Cold War had this choice thing that didn't matter, which kind of like laughed at the person.
It was like a lot of
but okay, besides the final mission. Okay, well, there's 3 missions I remember from Modern Warfare out of like the 8 you played. And one of them, everyone says their favorite one is the one where you're going in the house in France. Yeah, how long was that mission? That was 3 minutes long. It was a memorable mission. It was like you shot like 10
You need
bullets.
one of those starting missions like that though.
It was good. I think the fact that we're rating Cold War that bad, I think Modern Warfare launch was also pretty abysmal.
So I will move it to
I agree with it being
the
lowest.
That is fair.
Yes.
Okay.
I still think the ground war. Some people didn't like ground war. I thought the ground war was still pretty fun. Cold War and Modern Warfare were pretty neck and neck for bad launches.
You know what I was really annoyed with that Modern Warfare started? So you remember at the end of the campaign when they left this huge cliffhanger for the campaign, and then it was like Zakaya and bringing back those guys, and I was like, there's no way they're doing DLC for a campaign. Like, they've never done this. And instead they just put it in Warzone and made Warzone the extended campaign. It's like, why do you gotta blue balls me like that? Like,
true. Actually.
God. All right. So the bussin' tier. Now this is a very important tier because this is like, you want to talk about top 5s? This is the top 5. These are the 4 games that are undisputedly head and shoulders above the rest. Now, where do you put them in accordance to each other? I'm going to take a step in the dark here, okay, gentlemen? And I'm going to put Modern Warfare 2 in the #1 overall COD game ever, but just slightly. Because I think that the margin between all these games is very small, very small. You know what I mean? But as a group, these games are just better than all the other ones.
Yeah.
So I would do Modern Warfare 2, and then, oh god,
I'd say Black Ops has to stay there, and then
at 2.
The only one that you could like question being number 2 would maybe be Black Ops 2, just because like Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 might be the most popular, like by a general public. God.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, just kind of like this.
I think you could switch those two. I think you can go Black Ops 2 is second.
Because of the zombies. The only reason why I disagree with you is because the problem with comparing zombies is like, yes, it's not only was it different, but it was better. Like the DLC maps for Black Ops 2 besides Die Rise were amazing. And I think some people didn't like 5, but besides 5, I thought all the Black Ops 1 DLC zombie maps were amazing too.
By the way, they brought back all the World at War ones in remasters.
Yes, they did, and they let you use Black Ops 1 weapons as well.
Yeah, awesome. And they brought back a bunch of World War 2 ones you could use in there too.
Yeah, I think Black Ops 3 added all the mixed up of Black Ops and COD or BO2, and they brought them with the remastered.
Ray Gun Mark II and the PPSH came back, and
STG. That's really hard to like. I guess there's an argument for having 2, 3, 4 in what order they should be. I mean,
it really is also a preference of if you liked a certain part of the game a lot, like if you're a big multiplayer or campaign. I personally think the campaign story for Black Ops was way better than Black Ops 2's story. Yeah. But I think the
innovation
putting the choices in there makes it way better than Black Ops 3's campaign. And I mean, I think I think it has to be a draw when it comes to zombies, because they're both amazing and they're both respectively really good for one another, because one came out 2 years later and just had better versions of zombies.
I think that's fair, because like it's
all right. Skip, you got me. We can keep it. Skip.
Okay, that is true. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, the remaster, like, it's not fair to be like, oh, but Black Ops 3 had all the remasters. It's like, well, but Black Ops made those
Was
maps
the
good.
original?
Yeah, so like, it's not fair. Just like, oh, it is remastered. That's fair enough. I
I
think
guess
one
it's
seems to be like that. All right, boys. I think we did a good job. I think this is
I think if
It's
anyone,
a solid list.
if
It's a fair
anyone
list.
ever has to be like, hey yo, it like, that's bullshit. You don't know about a game. This is the video to where we have 3 professors of COD games. I think the only one we're not really good at,
according to my calculations,
probably the only one we're not really good at is Modern Warfare, because like,
yeah.
we
That's
didn't-
like the beginning of our
we
game.
slightly-
we
if
were at- we were
like
actually
2
like
years
10.
younger or older. I mean, we
Yeah.
probably would have been perfect.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were actually like
We've like me and
10
the
years
boys
old
just,
when
like,
that came out or
actually,
something like that.
We're actually knowing every map, like, or every game.
well,
like, yes.
Yeah, so
Or-
Treyarch is next on the docket. I hope, dude. I hope they make it just a banger, dude. Like, I hope the next game we play,
Any game is
we
gonna
put
be
in
better than
Buzz and Terry.
Vanguard right now.
That's
Vanguard
true.
is in a really bad state.
Yeah, no. If we,
they're gonna do the same thing Cold War does. I feel like.
I put Vanguard right here in the lowest average tier because I hear people do have fun with it. It's just the zombies is bad. I haven't heard anything about the campaign, dude. I've never. I don't.
I've heard
It's like
Is
the
there even a
one thing
campaign?
that I want to like
Yeah.
actually play because they're gonna be like they're doing what World at War's doing, which is doing like the multiple fronts instead of being like, oh, let's just make it a war movie about the USA. USA. Yeah.
USA.
Yeah.
All right, gents. I think we did a good job.
I think we did too.
Good job, gents.
It was a good job.
Good-
Yo, and look, guys, 99% of you guys aren't even subscribed, and you guys are viewing our videos. Come on, man, hit the subscribe. It's free. Anyways, guys, we really appreciate you, and we'll see you guys later.